Hey everyone. I was taking a deep breath. So I was debating whether or not to do this video in this reading because I got a channeled message. It's a dark one and it seems pretty specific. I did not sleep last night, and so this is for someone who is going through some really heavy mental anguish, mental pain, is probably an insomniac, and is not living a great life right now. They're really going through it. So my channel is about self-love, and so I think that it's important to not just talk about love readings, not just talk about, love and light and all of that. I too went through a really dark time in my life where I was living a nightmare and living hell upon hell. So it really kind of felt reminiscent to me to remember how far I've come, and that there are people out there that are still going through that. So this is for a younger girl. I'm guessing probably in her early 20s, maybe late teens. And in the dream, there was many dreams that I was having that were dark. And in this dream, this girl was wearing a Cannibal Corpse shirt. I love metal, but I do not listen to death metal, and I certainly don't listen to Cannibal Corpse, so I don't really know why I would be having a dream about Cannibal Corpse. I had to look it up because I wanted to maybe get some insight into the band, because I'm not super familiar with them, but I know who they are, and I know what kind of music they play, and I've seen plenty of people wear their shirts. So this is a message for someone, a young girl who listens to Cannibal Corpse. So in the dream, this girl is probably really into horror films, or just has a really horror-like mind. She's in a lot of pain, and it's interesting because the dream really went well with a lot of smaller things that have been going on, and I made some notes. So Cannibal Corpse, what really popped out to me was mutilation. So this girl might self-harm. And war amps came out as well. So people that, don't have limbs or born, and what was that movie? Was it Quentin Tarantino that did it? It was one of the first films that he made where I think it's Rose McGowan, that she had like a machine gun for a leg. And it was nighttime in this dream, and I saw the shirt, and then I looked down at my leg, and it wasn't my leg. It was a girl with thicker thighs. And I don't really want to, it was really gross, but it definitely wasn't real, because there's no way that someone's walking around like this, right? We're talking like major, like the back of her leg, I don't want to get too graphic, but the back of her leg was like a massive chunk out of it, and it was like green and putrid, and there were like nails sticking in it. And then there was like this rope that was threaded through that wound, and it was wrapped around and like hung on her. And at the end of the rope, there was like a long like dagger blade. So it was giving like Halloween costume kind of vibes, but I don't know if it was actually Halloween. It just might be, so this girl might have like body dysmorphia or something. But she was talking to a man. There was like an older man sitting on a curb on the street, and it was nighttime, and it could have rained. It felt like it had just rained. And the older man they were having a conversation, I guess, and the guy said that he goes, well, I don't know, I'm not into Cannibal Corpse. And he said she must have said something, and then he goes, well, that's what you get when you're into that stuff. And so I wasn't sure what they were talking about or what he meant. And so I feel like this message is, you have to be careful no matter what you're going through, no matter what your situation is, because if you're a younger kid and you're living in a home where, you know, it's not great and it's not something you can get out of, and you kind of have to bide your time. We all do the best that we can, you know, with what we have. But I think the message here is really about trying to make some sort of changes in the things that you consume. And it also made me think of that show Goliath with Billy Bob Thornton. It is a really good show. I watched the first season. I really liked it. And then I got into the second part of the season, the second season, and it got real dark. Like really weird dark kinks of like people without limbs and harvesting organs and human trafficking and that sort of thing. So I stopped watching it. I couldn't watch it anymore. After I had my kid, there was a lot of things that I had to stop consuming and stop watching because it was bad on my mental health. So this girl, whoever this message is for, you might be coming into your gifts. You might be starting to learn and understand that you are sensitive, that you maybe are an empath, and what you consume through your eyes will affect your mind and will affect your soul and your heart. So, yeah, people want to change and they want things to be different, but if you're continuing to harm yourself in whatever way, physically, mentally, emotionally, like visually, through whatever kind of stimuli, and some of us are just doing it to survive, and getting goosebumps. Believe me, I've been there. I know how it feels, and my heart goes out to you. I really don't know what kind of words I can say to you to make it better, other than that you're not alone. Yeah. So if we consistently consume like really dark things, then it's going to take over, right? So try and switch it up any way you can. I'm gonna go with the Antique Anatomy and see what we can get. It's too many. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of turmoil. There's just the King of Blades. Maybe you're dealing with a boyfriend that's really led you down a dark path. Maybe it's not really so much your home life. And if you're an empath or you're younger and you're dating someone that there's an age gap or he's into some really gnarly stuff, it changes how we see ourselves. It changes how we treat ourselves. And we may have been off, you know, not great to begin with, but then we accept darkness into our lives, especially with like boyfriends and girlfriends, you know, take it as it resonates. It just adds to the fire, or the desecration, if you will. What else can I get for this message, please? For this cannibal corpse lover. What else can I get, Spirit, please? I heard she's gonna need help. The Knight of Coins. So that's double masculine to me. So that makes me feel like maybe this guy love bombs you. He has control over your mind. I feel like I was really mind linked with this person. What else can I get? Page of Elixirs. Yeah, you're definitely younger than this masculine. And I don't even want to say masculine, because this guy's probably in his bitch energy. Because anyone who is predatory and goes after younger girls, or goes off with girls that are like low self-esteem and low self-worth, you know, again, no shame, no judgment, you know. I used to be one of those girls back in the day, you know. Interesting. What is this? This is the 9? 5, 6, 7, 8. So the 8 of Elixirs is in reverse. So upright, it says Aura Cleanse, Despair, Soul Journey, The Void, Wake Up, Potion. So to me, this being in reverse, like this masculine is definitely bad for your health, and he's bringing you down, and he's doing the opposite of what you need, which is you need to be healing yourself. And even if you were to try to heal yourself, it seems like it wouldn't work, because he drains you or creates darkness in your life. Yeah, this dude's really fucking gross and nasty. And I feel like he is definitely older than you. He might be in his late 20s. Ace of Rods. So this is definitely sexual. I heard he pounds you into the ground. And I mean that verbally, with his words. He could be physically abusive. He could hit you. Again, doesn't have to. Take it as it resonates. With the pink flowers here, though, again, he probably love bombed you in some form. But because the pink flowers, I feel like this is a really young, naive type of love. And I'm getting the feeling that it makes me so sad. I'm getting the feeling that you really hate yourself when you're with this person. And I don't think that you were like that before. I really don't. I feel like as a little girl, you probably had love for yourself. There was a softness inside of you. And just because you listen to death metal or just because you're into Cannibal Corpse, that doesn't mean that like you're a super dark person. And it doesn't mean that you can't listen to that music. Like I said, I like metal, I listen to metal, but I listen to it when I need to listen to it. I don't listen to it all the time. I pick and choose, right? Okay, what can you tell me about the this King of Blades? I heard sharp tongue. Yeah, the Fool. I heard he's a piece of shit. The High Priestess. Yeah, so, I mean, I feel with that, it's almost like he took your virginity. Like he might be the first boyfriend you've ever had. You know, and when we're young, we just want to be picked. We just want the attention. And I don't mean that in like a negative, bad way, right? We all want to be loved. We all want to be like touched. We all like crave that at some point, right? And it's about lessons and learning and all these things. Again, it doesn't have to be, but just, you know, take it as it resonates. It's also like a message out there for people that have gone through this sort of thing that can remember, like, yeah, I've been there. I know what that feels like. I'm glad to be out of that, you know? What can you tell me about the Knight of Coins, please? So with this High Priestess, he does know that you have some sort of gift. He knows that you are sensitive in some way, which is why he controls you through the mind. Two of Elixirs. Yeah, this is giving me like, yeah, passion, tincture, love tonic. This is giving me, like alcoholic vibes and being, like fake in love. What can you tell me about... Yeah, I heard he likes to drink with her. Maybe you're a fun drunk. I heard he uses it to manipulate her. So yeah, what, you know, boys and predators will get you under, you know, they'll manipulate and they'll get you under, you know, the influence and whatever, because it's easier to control you that way because your defenses are down. You're more open and suggestible. You know, and guys that do this, they're not new to the game, right? It's just your lessons. What can you tell me about... Oh, I was looking at the page of elixirs. Yeah, I feel like you're really new at this. I just got... You have one of those, like I said, this is like a bigger girl, and she's not like chubby, she's just thicker, but like she's got like really like cute cheeks, and she has one of those really girly bubbly laughs. I like that. That's sweet. Maybe like even like a contagious kind of laugh. Maybe you're big in the chest area. So when you laugh, you know, you jiggle. Page of elixirs, please, Spirit. What can you give me for Page of Elixirs? Beautiful. Yeah, you're beautiful. If you don't think you're beautiful, you're wrong. And you are. And Spirit's telling you that you are and that you deserve better. And I just told you that your laugh is beautiful, that you have this youthful contagiousness about you. And we have the 5 of Rods. Yeah. So there's a lot of fighting going on. So yeah, so with the orange flowers, he's attacking your sacral. So he's going to attack your feelings. He's going to attack your emotions. He's going to attack what you're passionate about, what you like, and he'll tear you down in whatever way he can. What can you tell me about this 8 of Elixirs that's in reverse? I just heard let it go. You need to let this person go. You need to find someone better. And quite frankly, you need to heal and be on your own. Just felt like an inside... I'm just wondering if you try and take deep breaths or you try and relax, but you have to keep it so hidden underneath so that like people don't see. Because it's like if you let your guard down or release the tension, it like bothers him. Because he wants you like walking on eggshells. He wants you tense all the time. So you can't like sigh, you can't like relax. That was like your confirmation that like you need that. What can you tell me about the 8 of Elixirs? I heard he's on my case all the time. The Hermit. Yeah, in your alone time, even when you're by yourself, you have a hard time relaxing because you're always in that state of tension. And the fact that the Hermit is underneath the 8 of Elixirs, where even if you try and heal yourself, it doesn't work because he has such a dark hold on you. I mean, yeah, this could even be a father figure. Again, take it as it resonates. Put yourself where you belong. But you know this when you're by yourself. You know what this is. You know how this is. You're not a stupid person. You're coming up as the High Priestess. That's interesting. So the Ace of Rods, the Emperor, is coming out. And again, with the leg, how, I mean, these are anatomical, right? But with, it's interesting because that's the leg that I saw. It was the right leg. And when I looked at the back of the leg, there was this like huge crevice like out of it. And it was like green. Yeah, you need to renew yourself. Yeah, the Chariot, the moving forward, how they're connected. The two heads are connected. So this is definitely some sort of toxic love connection that is linked in some manner. And it, with the Chariot, that gives me the feeling that it was very fast moving. Like it moved too quickly, which is usually what happens in a predatory type of relationship. I'm going to go with the Dark Mansion Tarot. What can you tell me about this so-called, well, okay, so what was with the Emperor and the, yeah, you might have like saw, because usually with high priestesses, they'll see something, they'll see the better, they'll see the good in people, and you know, he probably could have checked a lot of boxes for you. Maybe he was exciting and, you know, probably good looking. And he had things going on. Like I said, he's probably good in bed in some way. But is he respectful? Probably not. And he's probably not as good as you think he is. He just thinks he is. Because how many partners do you have or do you know to compare it to, right? I mean, I thought that at once. Turns out, not so good. And the other one, terrible. I won't get into it though. Okay, what can you tell me about this? What can you tell me? I'm sorry. What can you tell me about, you know, and he probably doesn't even please you, right? There's a difference between intimacy and fucking, right? And even that might not be great, so. What can you tell me about the King of Blades, please, with the Fool and the High Priestess? Yeah, he did. He took you for a fool. You don't have to hate yourself and you don't have to be ashamed. We all go through it. Yeah, oh my God. So the Six of Cups keeps coming out everywhere. I'm seeing it everywhere. The Six of Cups is about like inner child, like garden, protection, and it's upside down. It's in reverse. So he took advantage of your naivety. He took advantage of your lack of experience. That's a lot. Should I take these? No? Okay. He probably made you promises. Like I said, it was probably fast moving. Maybe you moved in together really fast, or maybe things were progressing maybe fast. I don't know, maybe he love bombed you by giving you a ring or something and like promised you shit and then like, you know, too busy running around on you or something. What can you tell me about the, what is that? The Knight of Coins. The Knight of Coins. He just looks like he has money, but he doesn't. What can you tell me about the Knight of Coins? And the Two of Elixirs. The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, this just really gives me like circus vibes, right? Like dark circus vibes, Rob Zombie vibes. And I like Rob Zombie. I'm just, if anybody knows like Rob Zombie's story, like, you know, like the shit that he had to grow up with and why he is the way he is. Yeah, it's like a good time when you're, you know, drinking and doing whatever, but even there's so much dark, sinister shit underneath, like, you know. What can you tell me about the, what is that? The Page of Elixirs, Five of Rods, and the Queen of Elixirs. Yeah, guys like this really like to suck the youth out of women. They like your light because it feeds them. They like to be in control. They like the power. They like the rush it gives them. That's what they do. They pick smart, beautiful girls that don't know any better or have a lack of experience, and they use them up. High Priestess. Okay, so that's the second time now that the High Priestess is coming out. So you definitely have a lot of gifts that you are starting to come into and you need to start listening to. The Page of Swords. I feel like you're still learning how to fight. This is new to you. The King of Cups. The Ten of Wands. Yeah, you're carrying a lot. And the Nine of Cups. So I feel like he makes you do all the heavy lifting. Maybe you work really hard and you make a decent amount of money and you're giving like him your money and you're doing all the work and he's just supposed to sit back on his bloody ass and get drunk and like boss you around. You have bigger dreams. The Tower. There you go. So with the Eight of Elixirs in reverse and the Hermit and with the Tower coming out, yeah, I heard it's a long time coming. You need to kick this guy to the curb. You need to get rid of him before something really bad happens, before he takes anything more from you. What can you tell me about the Tower, though? Yeah, I really feel like you're being struck now with your gifts. Like you're starting to really yeah, I feel like there's this drive and this push in your chest. You have to use your anger for your benefit. Use that anger to drive yourself and put your foot down. Be safe, because I don't know your situation. I don't know who this person is. So that you can get rid of him, you can learn how to remove his energy from you. You can sever the link between your minds, and you can start to heal. And you can start to process and understand yourself and what you want and what makes you happy. What can you tell me about the Ace of Rods and this Emperor? So that black cat keeps coming up. There was this other part of the dream, and there were like multiple dreams, and it could be part of this or it could not. Take it as it resonates, and if not, then leave it. But there was a black cat, and this black cat, like, it had like a humanness to it, because the cat like grabbed me around the neck and was like hugging me, but I wasn't sure if it was going to attack or not, because animals will grab you when they want to attack you so that they can bite you. and it grabbed me, and it was like, you know, soft and fluffy. And then I was like hugging, but I was like, I'm not sure. And then I was like, just as soon as I was like, oh, like maybe it was a hug, I saw fangs, and then I heard like that growl from a cat, and then I saw like claws come out at the back of the neck. So I feel like you either have a friend in your life that is not good for you, or that's who this guy is to you. What can you tell me about the Ace of Rods and this so-called Emperor? That's way too many. I don't want to take it. Don't tell me what to do. Yeah, just because someone tells you to do something doesn't mean you have to do it. Stand your ground and put your foot down. What can you tell me? Again, the Five of Swords is coming out. So the King of Pentacles. Yeah, he acts like he's the King of Pentacles, but he's not. The Five of Swords. A lot of fighting. And Temperance. So you pour into his cup constantly, but he doesn't, he just takes from you. So this guy's definitely a taker. And he has a very grandiose way of looking at himself. And again, she's wearing pink. I feel like you have this, you do have this self-love for yourself. You do have this soft girl side inside of you. But you can't show that, because that's what he takes advantage of. Yeah, the Four of Wands, that's the second time it's popped out. It was in when I put the cards out. I think he promises you stuff, or he wants to marry you, which is a bad idea, I can tell you that, just from what I'm getting. I don't know, maybe you needed this validation. Yeah, maybe you needed this validation of whether or not to move forward with this person. But I really don't like the Tower. I really don't like these Five of Swords. It seems very camouflaged and illusioned. And the fact that the Six of Cups is upside down, you do not feel safe with this person. All he does is take from you. I'm gonna leave it there. I hope that this resonated for someone. I hope that this was a validation, a wake-up call for whoever this cannibal corpse girl is, and that you are so much stronger than you give yourself credit for. Use your anger to your benefit. Put your foot down. Take your power back. And honestly, positivity-wise, moving forward, I mean, it's not going to be worse. I can tell you that much, right? It may feel like it's worse because, you know, you're not with someone, you're by yourself. It's a little bit lonelier, but this gives you the time to focus on yourself, focus on your gifts, focus on taking your power back and feeling powerful in your own body. Yeah, if it resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. comment down below, share, subscribe, and join the garden where we play, where we cultivate, and we heal. And we get to plant the seeds of our dreams the way that we want. I hope that you have a better day and a better tomorrow. I hope that you have some peace of mind and you have a good night's sleep. Peace. God bless.